Okay, Maxine Schnall here on WMCA. 6:14 is our time. Kelly Everts is our guest, and we're going to hit the phone lines right now. And here's Nat from Brooklyn. Hi, Nat. You're live on the air with us.
Hi, Kelly.
Yes.
I think you should get $80 million from him.
Thank you.
80 million.
Thank you.
He deserves it.
You better believe it, baby. You're with us all the way. We're going to kick anus.
Good, you should.
That's a fancy name for you-know-what. Why, Nat, do you think that Kelly should make this kind of money?
Because he was so abusive to this woman, and, he came off in his disgusting manner as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And abused this woman left and right.
That's right.
And he should be made to pay for that.
Yeah, he should.
He's going to pay for it.
All right.
You know, by the way, there's another guy suing him for $100 million now.
Wow, what did he do to him?
Beat him up.
Wow.
Wearing a neck brace and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so you are not a fan of Morton Downey Jr., and you think Kelly ought to collect and collect big.
Should.
I thank you, Nat, for
Thank
calling.
you.
Let's move on and talk to Mark from New York City. Hi, Mark. You're live on WMCA with Maxine and my guest, Kelly Everts. How you doing?
Hello?
Yeah, hi. You're on the air.
Well, I happened to hear your show by accident. I really don't plan to tune back, but, Kelly, have you spoken to people like the head of the New York Hospital, the doctor to New York Hospital Corporation, or Sandra Day O'Connor, or Jean Kirkpatrick? Are they really aware of what they're missing?
What's that mean?
Well, what do you mean?
Well,
The Morton Downey show or prostitution?
Well, I mean, do they know the great life they're missing, your life, when here one is only a Supreme Court justice and one is the head of the New York Hospitals Corporation, and Jean Kirkpatrick is respected by men and women of every calling throughout the world. Do they know what they're missing, according to you?
Well,
Wait a minute.
I'm not
You know,
clear what you're trying to say.
everyone lives to their own drummer. I mean, God has given me a mission. My mission will help the future women of the world, so there will be more Jean Kirkpatricks. There will be more opportunities for women because of what I'm doing today. I was the world's first female bodybuilder. There would be no female bodybuilding today if it weren't for me.
Okay, Mark. You've had your say, and we're going to move ahead and talk to Karen. Karen from Queens, you're live on WMCA.
Hi, Kelly. I think you should sue Morton Downey. I think he is the most disgusting character on TV, and I wish people would write in to get him off the air. And you know, it was just by chance that I was switching channels, and I saw what he did to you, and I just couldn't take it. And I shut the TV off. There's a lot of truth to what you say. However, since this is now supposed to be a kinder and gentler nation, I don't want to talk about one gender superior than the other. I'm really for equality between both of us, and I want us all to respect each other and not to downgrade women. What really bothers me is that when a woman is well endowed, society makes fun of her, just like they also do to Dolly Parton. But God forbid if anybody should say something about a man's private parts
That's right.
too small. I mean,
we don't call one of the senators or the president or somebody a bimbo or a slut because he's got a big penis.
Exactly. And, you know, there is no male counterpart for the word slut.
That's right, exactly.
That also bothers me.
Exactly. And, you know, I've called men sluts and whores, and they love it. They love it. They're proud of it.
Well, they like being called a womanizer, which is very
exploitive. Whoremaster is a compliment to a man. Oh, boy, yeah, I had a lot of women.
You know, it has to be understood that prostitution is a supply and demand thing.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying I'm for it, I'm not saying I'm against it, but it takes two to tango.
Exactly.
And I know I'm always hearing, you know, when the girls are picked up on 42nd Street, I'm always hearing that the police really treat them bad.
Of course.
And they don't treat the Joneses bad.
No, they don't bother.
Okay, but Karen, let me ask you this question, though. The girls who get into prostitution, they are really debasing themselves. I mean, they are selling their own body, and they are engaging in sex as a business, which to me is dehumanizing. I mean, how can you respect
it's dehumanizing because our culture says it is, because our culture condemns and ostracizes and hurts the women who do so. It is a culturally conceived evil. Sex is nature. God made sex.
Yeah, God made sex, but not to sell it.
But Maxine,
some people have to. Some people have no choice. Some people have no choice.
Maxine, if you look at the background of the women who do this, you will find that they have been sexually abused by their fathers or some other member of their family.
True.
And,
Were you sexually abused by your father? Excuse
No,
me,
no,
Kelly?
I wasn't.
No, you were not.
No.
Okay.
Most of them are runaways. I mean, it's really very sad. You know, nobody downgrades a high-class call girl.
Exactly. See, she's making a very valid point.
It's true.
This is a poverty problem. See, if a woman is a really high-class prostitute like the
Mayflower
Madam, people don't condemn her. They say she does it with class. You've got to respect a woman like that. What they are condemning is the poor women on the street, the poorest of the
Who
poor.
can't fend for themselves.
And they are
Okay.
laughing at these women.
All right, Karen, that was a great call, and we thank you very much.
Certainly
Good
was.
hearing
What
from
an
you.
intelligent lady.
John, you're live on WMCA with Maxine Schnall and our guest, Kelly Everett. How are you, John?
Okay, what I want to come to the defense of Kelly Everett. First of all, she's correct about prostitution in this country. Wyatt Earp was a whore master when he started out west, and that's how the West was run with large amounts of prostitutes out west. That's how the men got out there.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the men go today, they're all mama boys. They all walk with their hands between their legs when they see a woman, and they feel threatened. They're constantly, you know, they feel that they're being emasculated by women. And it is so. They are, because they don't have brains.
Mm-hmm.
And
Their brains are where they're holding their hands, I guess.
Well, I asked Morton Downey where his brains, show me his brains, and he grabbed his crotch.
between his legs.
He grabbed his crotch, and I said, you said it.
That's right. It's right between his legs. And,
Yeah.
and Morton Downey suffers what they call sexuality.
Well, his brother was gay and died of AIDS, you know.
Because most macho men suffer from that.
Well, I told
Wait a
him.
minute. What makes you say that, John? Why would you think that he suffers from latent homosexuality? I cannot subscribe to that. It's purely hearsay.
They're afraid of their sexuality is being impinged by a strong woman.
Exactly. Very good point.
But he's getting married for the fourth time or something.
Because most men who are normal do not display this type of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And Morton Downey, to me, he's not a sick person, but he tinges on a lot of problems in his own youth.
Mm-hmm. But I think that a lot of it can be just showbiz. He knows that people like this sleaze.
No, I think this man is right. He's got severe problems.
A lot of undercurrents are shown by his reactions. The physical being next to the woman because he feels that she's inferior, and debasing the woman because she has a large breast doesn't mean that he has a right to touch her.
He called me several times. He insulted my breasts because they are large.
What did he say? What words did he use?
He fat-breasted mouth, and I know when there's a milk strike, where to go, babe. And
That's disgusting.
I forget what else, but it was because of the size of my breast.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, John, thank you very much for calling. 570-WMCA. We want to hear from you. We'd like opinion on what you've heard from Kelly Everett, whether she has your support and your sympathy, whether you like the things that she said, and your opinion about Morton Downey's treatment of her, and whether, in fact, you think it's worth $42 million or any money. Any money. She is suing Morton Downey Jr. for $42 million for emotional distress caused by his very foul-mouthed treatment of her, abusive treatment of her on his show. Doesn't she take that risk when she goes on a show like that? You tell us. 212-570-WMCA. I can't believe it. Kelly Everett, tell me the truth. Do you do whips and chains on men? I mean, do you hurt men when you have sex with them?
I don't have sex with men because I'm celibate, but I am right now the #1 dominatrix in the U.S. I do all my dominating for videos. I produce videos. And yes, I hurt men. Men want to be hurt. The ones that come to me for hurting sessions and videos and whatnot are the good guys. The guys that don't want to be hurt are the guys that really need it. These are the guys I want to get my hands on and hurt real badly to discipline them because their mothers didn't give them what they needed when they were kids.
Is this the way to reach somebody's psyche, by beating up on them sexually? I mean, come on. You probably were a victim of that as a prostitute.
Absolutely. I've been raped and beaten up, but we're talking about something else. My mother disciplined me. I became a good person. I'm a good person. I'm virtuous. I have interior virtue. I practice love of neighbor and love of God and whatnot. And my mother and my parents and my own self-discipline and my catechism instilled that in me. Men need discipline. Girls are taught better than boys. Girls become good people. Boys become the killers, the rapists, and the warmongers, and everything bad. 98% of all crimes are committed by men.
Wait, Kelly. You mean to say you have never met any nice, decent, caring, gentle, sensitive? I mean, I am married to a wonderful man who happens to be here. I don't want him to think that I share your view that all men are trash. You don't really believe that, do you?
No, I never said all men, just most men. I would say most men are despicable. I would say that the majority of men are no good.
All right.
And I would say the majority of women are better.
Here's a guy who's going to defend himself. Joe, hi. You're live on WMCA.
Hello. This is almost unbelievable. She got some pretty funny attitudes. But first of all, I want to say that I hope she gets everything from Morton Downey Jr. And I'm only sorry that more people haven't sued that idiot.
Hey, there's a man suing him for $100 million.
Well, I hope he gets that. And I hope there's a lot of other people who deserve to get some. But I wanted to say this, that on a personal level, when a woman has to sell her body and it takes a part of her soul, then I'm really, really, sorry for that it has to come to that. But those women who can do it, I mean, strictly for the money, it's like, God, it may sound, like a funny comparison, but a construction worker goes and, he does work and he's using his body. Some people might see it very differently, I imagine. But if a woman...
Well, I hope he's not doing what she's doing when she's doing prostitution out on Joe. I mean, I hope that's not what he's doing.
What is Joe saying? That is the same thing?
Same as being a construction worker?
Well, of course it is, except it's more dangerous for the woman.
No,
except he wears a hard hat. Okay, thank you, Joe. Let's talk to Dan. Dan, you're live on WMCA with Maxine Schnall. How you doing?
I have a comment and a question. First of all, I think she should get nothing. First of all, she knew what she was getting into when she went on the show, because Morton Downey does this to every guest. Every guest that...
What does he do to every guest?
He squeezes right in their face. He pushes them. I've seen it every time.
Does that mean it's right?
Well, if you knew what you were getting into, if you knew he was going to...
Does that mean it's right? Does that mean if a person's a habitual criminal that he should not be put in jail?
That's the American dream. Get people like you, the KKK, get everybody on us.
And what are you? You sound like fanatical to me.
Did you ever hear of Elvis?
You're polluting the airwaves, baby.
Did you ever hear of Elvis Presley? Those women weren't pretty good to him. What do you think of Elvis Presley?
What?
What do you think of Elvis Presley?
What do I think of him? I helped him get out of purgatory. That's what I think of him. I minister to his soul.
Well, wait a second. Dan, hold it a minute. Wait. How did Elvis Presley get into this?
Dan, what bar are you calling from?
I mean, Dan, stick to the subject. Where did Elvis Presley get into this?
Men rape women, whatever. But I see women try to rape Elvis Presley. I've seen 20 million women.
Yeah, but how many guys are like Elvis Presley?
It doesn't matter.
Hey.
All right, let's talk to Robert. Robert, you're live on WMCA with Maxine Schnall and our guest, Kelly Everts. How are you?
Fine. I just like to say that I'm for equality for both sexes, and I think that it is wrong for a man to be superior and a woman to be superior, and I think it would be terrible not to make a better word out of it. But I also would like to tell Kelly Everts that I have a lot of sympathy for what she has, a lot of concern for women, and I have a lot of concern for women, too, because I am a feminist. And as for her profession as a stripper for God and also doing prostitution, I think it's terrible, too, and I'm having sympathy for women, whether it's upper class or lower class, and I think that women should never get into prostitution. I terminate it because women should be respected, and they should just get out of bad things.
Okay, but Robert, the point's been made that many of the women who are into prostitution are in it because they do not see any other way to make a living. They can't get work. This is their rationale. I'm not skilled. I come from poverty. I don't have anybody to support me. I may have a child and the father disappeared on me, and I have no other way to get any money. But I suspect that a lot of these women have a drug problem. And there may be a connection between the prostitution and wanting money for drugs.
Prostitution existed since humans existed and way before drugs were invented. So don't blame it on drugs. Well, drugs is part of everything today.
All right, I thank you, Robert, for coming. All right, let me ask you this question.
Let me answer something that he said. He said no woman should do it. It should be abolished. Women shouldn't do something that causes disrespect. The problem is the disrespect of society toward women. It's not the women or what they are doing. They're not doing anything immoral. It's the male society that says they're immoral.
Before you turned celibate,
yeah,
did you enjoy sex?
Yes.
Was it not mutually satisfying for you and your partner?
I don't really know exactly what it meant to the partner. I found, however, that men are usually of a different mental bent than women. I think that a woman is looking usually for a decent relationship, and men are looking to plant their seeds and run.
All right, but as a physical act, is not sex mutually gratifying? My question is this. If it is, and I believe it usually is, unless it's done with coercion, and which is rape, it's another story, but in a loving and caring situation, it's mutually pleasing. So why should the man pay the woman?
Oh, wow, are you kidding me? I mean, because there's a demand. A man's sex drive is compulsive. Men are horny from morning till night. They're looking all over for women. That's all they think about, how to get laid. Women don't go around looking to get laid from morning till night. Men have a problem. They have to have it taken care of. That's why.
All right, 6:34 is our time on WMCA. I'm Maxine Schnau. Our guest is Kelly Everts. She is billed as a stripper for God, and she has been a prostitute, although now she is celibate, and she's suing Morton Downey for $42 million. If you'd like to express your point of view on the things that she has said, she is a dominatrix. She's also mentioned that, and it makes me a little uncomfortable. We'll explore that in a little more detail.
You're a dominatrix yourself,
I'm
baby.
not a
Come
sexual
on.
dominatrix.
You're a dominatrix. You teach seminars on how to be a bitch.
Yeah, but I talk about positive bitchery, not mean.
Oh, that's
not
they love it. Men get excited. They love it. We're giving them pleasure.
Well, I think men do like the bitch that I'm talking about, being a challenging, independent, not a fawning all over a man and hanging on him to be fed type of woman. I'm trying to make women be a little more independent.
You dominate men, Maxine. Come on.
Okay.
You're no different than I am. You're no better than I am.
If
I'm a sleazebag, so are you.
I am not a sleazebag. I have class. All right, folks, 570 WMCA. We'll get to you right after this.